Hello everyone, you're welcome to this tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to teach you how you can calculate your GPA and also your CGPA. So basically I've subjected it to 3 semesters. We have 100 level first semester here, 100 level second semester, 200 level first semester. So, but once you get the logic, you'll be able to do the repetitions for subsequent semesters. Now, let's start from 100 level first semester. Now, basically, you can see that in the first semester here, we have 10 courses. 9 of those courses have units, and if you add the total number of units that we have here, it's going to give you the total units here, which is 17. So now there are basic things that you need to know. You should know that if you're using, if your school is using a 5.0 GPA cumulative grade, your A is going to represent 5 points, your B is going to represent 4 points, your C is going to represent 3 points, your D is going to represent 2 points. If you have E, it can represent, that is if your school gives E as a grade, it can represent 1 point, while F is 0 points. So just let me write it there. This is 1 point, while F will give us 0 points. Now here, let's assume grades to these particular courses. Now let's say in MTH 101 you had 70A. So let's write that down. Let's say you had 70A in MTH 101. In chemistry 101, let's assume that you had 60B. 60B. In chemistry 107, let's assume that you have 90A. In physics 101, let's assume that you had 82A. In physics 107, let's assume you had 70A. In Bio 101, let's assume that you had 65B. In CS 101, let's assume you had 72A. In Ed 101, let's assume you had, let's say 60B. In GS 111, let's assume you had 70A. And in LIB 101, let's assume you also had 70A. So what this implies is that 70A, your A is 5 points. So since you have gotten an A in this course, you are going to multiply this number of units by 5. So 2 times 5, you have a total of 10 points for MTH 101. Now, chemistry 101, you had a B. So this will give you 4 times 2. This will give us a total of 8 points. Now, for chemistry 107, you had an A. So that will be 5 times 1. This will give us a total of 5 points. This is also 5 points. 5 times 2, this will give us 10 points. So this A, 5 times 1, this will give us another 5 points. This B, this 4, 4 times 2, that will give us 8 points. So this A, this 5, 5 times 3, this will give us 15 points. So this B, this 4, 4 times 2, that will give us 8 points. A, this 5, 5 times 2, that will give us 10 points. So this 8 is 5, 5 times 0, that will give us 0 points. So that's why most times they might tell you that for courses that doesn't have units, uh, even though you have an A, B, C, or D, it doesn't really affect your CGPA. So of course, if it's a compulsory subject, it means that you must not just fail it. So once you pass it, it doesn't really have an effect on your CGPA. So now let's add these together. So here we have 10, we have 10, plus 8 plus 5 plus 10 plus 5 plus 8 plus 15 plus 8 plus 10 plus 0, and that will give us 79. So it means that here we have a total of 79 points. So to calculate the GPA for this semester, your GPA is going to give you your total number of points, which is 79, divided by the total number of units which you have, which is 17. 79 divided by 17, that is going to give us 4.64705. So it depends on your school. Some schools might approximate to 2 decimal places, while some schools might set their program not to approximate. So let's assume that we are approximating to 2 decimal places. This is going to give you 4.65. Now, your CGPA for your first semester is going to be the same thing as the GPA that you had for that first semester. So it means that your GPA here is still 4.65. Now let's move to, you are done with first semester. Let's move to second semester. Now let's assume at the end of second semester you are doing 8 courses. Then at the end of the semester in MTH 102 you had 60B. In chemistry 102 you had 70A. In chemistry 108 you had 50C. In physics 102 you had 90A. In physics 108 you had 90A. In bio 102 you had 60B. In TSA 111, let's assume you had 40D. In GST 112 you had 86A. Now let's do the calculation again. So don't forget your B represents 4 points. 4 times 2, this will give us a total of 8 points. This 5 times 2, that will give us 10 points. This 3 times 1, that will give us 3 points. This 5 times 2, that will give us 10 points. This another 5 times 1 will give us 5 points. So this 4 times 2, that will give us 8 points. These 2 times 3, that will give us 6 points. This 5 times 2, that will give us 10 points. So our total number of points here, that's going to give us, we have the first there is 8 plus we have 10 plus we have 3 plus we have 10 plus we have 5 plus we have 8 plus we have 6 plus we have 10. So this gives us a total of 60 points. So we have a total of 60 points here. So our GPA for this semester is going to give us 60 divided by the total number of units which we have here to be 15. So 60 divided by 15, that'll give us 4.00. Now, your CGPA for this semester is not 4.65 plus 4.00 divided by 2, which most students do. This CGPA represents your cumulative CGPA. So it is taken into reference to the every unit that you have done. So what this means here is that to find your CGPA, your total units in first semester, that was 79, plus your total units in second semester, that's 60, then divided by the number of units in first semester here is 17. The number of units in second semester here is what? 15. So here, 79 plus 60 will give us 139 divided by 17 plus 15, that's 20 plus 12, that will give us 32. Let me confirm that. 17 plus 15, so that's 32. So if we divide that, that will be 139 divided by 32, and that will give us a cumulative CGPA of 4.34. So this will be your CGPA at the end of 100 level second semester. So you see that it's a little bit different if you use the wrong approach. The wrong approach is if you say 4.65 plus 4.00 divided by 2, which gives 4.325. So it's a little bit it's different. So this is the approach you use. So let's do one more semester. So let's assume that you're at the end of 100 level, you finished with a CGPA of 4.34. Now, 200 level first semester, MTH 201, you had 70A. Chemistry 203, you had 90A. Chemistry 205, you had 96A. Physics 207, you had 72A. Physics 209, you had 92A. EDF 201, you had 60B. EDF, sorry, that is EDF 201. EDF 201, let's say you had 70A. CSE 201, you had 82A. And ENT 201, let's assume you had 70A. So by this, calculating the number of points, 5 points here is going to give us 5 times 2, which is 10. Another 5 points here, that's 5 times another 2, which is 10. So this will still be 10. This also will be 10. This also will be 10. So this 4 times 2, this will give us 8. 5 times 2, this will give us 10. 5 times 3, this will give us 15. Then 5 times 2, this will also give us 10. So if we find the cumulative, so these are 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 85, 85 plus 8, 85 plus 8. So that should give us 93. So let's calculate that to be sure. So we have, okay, let's use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 50 plus 8 plus 10 plus 15 plus 10. So which is still 93. So the CGPA for that semester will give us 93 divided by 19. So 93 30 divided by 19. This will give us 4.89. That's your GPA for that semester. So your CGPA now, you start again from 100 level. Your first total point was 79 plus your second semester, which was 60, plus 200 level first semester, which is 93, divided by the total unit in first semester, 17, the second semester, that's 15, plus the third semester, which is 19. So 79 plus 60 plus 93. This will give us 232 divided by 17 plus 15 plus 19, and this is 51. So 232 divided by 51, that will give us 4.55. 4.55. So it means that your CGPA at 200 level first semester is going to be 4.55. This is how you calculate your GPA and CGPA. So you can repeat the process for your 200 level second semester, 300 level first semester, 300 level second semester, and so on. If your course is a 4-year course, meaning you're going to have 8 semesters. If your course is a 5-year course, you're going to have 10 semesters. So see you in the next tutorial. This is Learn with Uncle T. Thank you.